Hello there guys, my name is Aaron Chalner and watching another update right now is you guys watching me, the performer. Now, December 22nd, remember that day because it could be the day that we start a brand new NBA season. Now, there are suggestions that this could be the starting date, according to some reports. So we do have a Sky Sports News article that we're going to share with you all the details about, and then share my thoughts on the rumoured, start date and end date and things like that, and stuff what's been reportedly rumoured around about now. So of course, don't forget the NBA draft is going to be November 16th, I believe. It's going to be done virtually, so I want to try and find out exactly how you can watch that. But it's going to be all done online, so we'll get to see the draft online. We're going to get to see who comes to which club and all of that jazz. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this. So let's start by looking at the reports of what's been said. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. And for now, let's get started straight away and have a look at these reports. So, Sky Sports News are reporting the NBA is targeting December 22nd for the start of 2020-2021 season. Now, a suggestion made to end the season in June to allow players to compete in the Tokyo Olympics the following month. No decisions yet finalised, talks with the NBPA are ongoing. The NBA's Board of Governors is considering a December start to the next season, according to reports. A person with knowledge of the situation says the board is targeting December 22nd for the opening night of what would be a regular season of around 70 or 72 games. The NBA Finals will return to take place in June, as has been the case for many years. The person who spoke to the Association Press on condition of anonymity because no plan had been finalised said the possibility of fans being at games would hinge on how a particular market is faring against the coronavirus at this time. There are other options, such as waiting until later in the season to begin play with the hope that more arenas will have more fans, but starting in December instead of mid-January or later could generate a difference of roughly $500 million in revenue, said this person with the knowledge. Now, revenue projections for this league this season were missed by about $1.5 billion. The losses were a result of a combination of factors: the shutdown caused by coronavirus, the cancellation of 171 regular season games, completing the season in a bubble at Walt Disney World in Florida without fans, the nearly $200 million price tag for operating that bubble, and a year-long rift with the Chinese government that saw NBA games not shown on state television over in China. No decisions have been finalised on next season, and talks with the National Basketball Players Association remain ongoing on many matters, including the financial parameters for the coming year. Those talks, especially on the money issue, would have to be concluded before any real decisions about next season are made. Now, the NBPA has not made any final decisions on how it wants to see the league proceed either, but this plan, starting in December and ending in June, would get the 2020-2021 season, virus permitting, back to normal, with 82 games slated starting in October 2021. A pre-Christmas for the upcoming season would mean the off-season for NBA champions the LA Lakers and Eastern Conference champions Miami Heat would be almost absurdly short, since the December 22nd start date would mean teams would likely be starting training camp around the end of November. Now, this season's NBA Finals ended, of course, on October 11th, so the Heat and Lakers could basically have as little as 7 weeks off. It would also mean the league and its broadcast partners would get to keep Christmas games on the schedule. The league has made Christmas a 5-game slate in recent years, primarily because of how many viewers tune in the holiday season. Typically, a mid-June end to the finals is followed by about 3.5-month break before the following training camp, but a June ending next season will allow players to compete in next summer's rescheduled Tokyo Olympics, which is scheduled to begin in July. The US, of course, already qualified for those Olympics, as have 7 other nations. 24 teams left to compete for the final 4 spots in the men's basketball field for the Tokyo Games, with those qualifiers set to begin in June. If the NBA season goes into July or longer, it would seriously jeopardise plans to have many of the league's players taking part in the Tokyo Olympics. Still, any December resumption of play would necessitate a serious time crunch to get rosters settled. The NBA draft is scheduled for November 18th. Got it wrong, it wasn't 16th, it was 18th. And it remains unclear when free agency, which typically follows the draft, would take place. And of course, that you already know, there was 171 games cancelled this season by the coronavirus, which caused the league to suspend operations back on March the 11th. So I think the league do not want to suspend any more games, and it should be interesting to see what will happen if these reports end up being true. So there's a lot of factors to take into that report, especially with the fact that a December 22nd start date would be an interesting route. And like it said there, if it was going to be some kind of December start date instead of mid-January, then going into the 2021-2022 campaign, it would make it a more, if the virus wasn't around by then, it will be pretty much a back to normal start, where it's as the 82 games slating starting in October 2021. And, especially with the Tokyo Olympics going down in July next year, it's going to be interesting to see when the season starts and finishes, because it all hinges on player progress and player improvement after the season finishes. So it's going to be a weird one. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a weird one. I mean, obviously December 22nd would be great to start the NBA season, because of course it's near the Christmas period. So, what's the best Christmas present for Americans and for Britons over here that love the NBA? The NBA coming back, so it'd be a great Christmas present very early on before Christmas Day to see the NBA return. Obviously, the stuff without fans, that's going to be a big factor on a loss of revenue. Of course, it was this season as well. This season just gone. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, whatever happens, I think the NBA players themselves will play with the badge. They'll play for the badge on their shirt. And you've only got to look at the final of the previous season just gone, the Lakers winning after so many years, and of course that title win meant so much to the Lakers, because I know that was in homage to the late Kobe Bryant. And, the Los Angeles Lakers definitely, that was their first title in years, homage to Kobe Bryant, and of course Gianna Bryant as well. And, it was very much a playing for the badge, not for the fame or the fortune. I hope that's the same case next season. I hope that's the same case for the rest of the seasons. And, I think that a December start date would probably be the best route forward, especially if things start to improve before then. In terms of fans coming in, I mean, I'd like to see that happen once the virus goes down or it gets permanently extinct. Because obviously with them being, large, even though they're very spaced out and you could do a lot of social distancing and reduce capacity, you still got to think it is an indoor space, and usually indoor space with a lot of people in, even if you include some kind of rule of six, it would be very hard to put it in an indoor stadium, even if it's a massive one. So, you've only got to do fans back in when it's realistically safe. And, hopefully when that time comes, we do get the fans back in the stadiums, we do get to see basketball again. And, it's going to be very interesting to see how they operate without fans. Obviously they're not going to be doing that Walt Disney World bubble anymore. So do they stick to their own stadiums and they only travel privately, and do they make their own way, or do they go on like a team bus and they get tracked and traced beforehand, and do they go to the stadiums home or away, and if it's away travel, do you go to the stadiums by coach and do a private flight and things like that? Do they have private transport set up so there's less of a risk of contracting COVID? We don't know, but I think that if they can put it right and do it the right way, 22nd December wouldn't be a bad start. So it's going to be quite a watch. I think the NBA is going to be quite a watch over these next couple of months, because you've got to watch out for the draft on the 18th of November, which I will be doing, of course. I'll be keeping a note of every single draft pick and seeing exactly who goes where and see if it's a good fit or not. I was going to go live on that day, but depending on the times in the UK, I'm not too sure. But, if not, then I'll do a full summary of the draft, and I'll share my thoughts on the top picks and things like that, and my favourite moments of the draft. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the start date. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video discussing the NBA's rumoured start date for next season. Obviously this is a big video today, so go and check out all the other videos we've uploaded today and yesterday. We uploaded NBA Off the Rim episode 1 yesterday, so make sure you go check that out. That's our new weekly series about the NBA, so we're going to be doing some roundup news basically every weekday, every week, so Go and check out that series and episode 2 when it should be up next week. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a very exciting season. Obviously, you know, it's going to be interesting with no fans probably for this first half of the season probably. And, you know, it should be interesting to see if there's only going to be fans at all. You know, football hasn't got any fans. Well, they had like a little try period here and there, but, you know, not a proper fans inclusion. So, you know, I think we're looking at a behind closed doors season without fans for the whole season in football, I think. You know, is basketball in America going to be the same? We don't know, but you know, you can bet your lucky stars will still be, you know, watching it from home and cheering our teams on. You know, I'm a neutral. I don't really support one particular team. I'm a neutral. I just love basketball in general. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the teams compete. You know, I might have my Warriors hat somewhere over there. But, you know, I love basketball in general, so it's going to be interesting to see who competes and who does well this next season. Obviously, with a few new coaches, not even just 2 coaches, not even the 2 new ones for the Clippers and the Pelicans. You know, you got a lot of new coaches. The Philadelphia 76ers getting rid of Brett Brown after a few years. You know, that's going to be interesting to see the development of Ben Simmons. And, you know, there's a lot of changes going on. Obviously, there's a rename to the Nuggets Arena, I believe. It's Denver Nuggets Arena that's getting renamed this year. The Air Jordan brand on the uniforms, that's going to be coming into play this next season. So, you know, there's a lot of changes going on there. And we'll see what happens. So thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. My name is Aaron Chandler. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, have a nice day.